Tonight, an update from the WBRZ investigative unit after questions were raised in West Feliciana involving Parish President Kenny Havard. It involves a business he owns and its relationship with a national cruise line which sails through the parish. That connection sparking an ethics investigation which has not yet come to a conclusion. Bess Casserly in the investigative unit here now with the details.
Sylvia, we spent yesterday afternoon going through around 300 emails that were produced by Kenny Havard in response to our initial public records request. In West Feliciana, these giant cruise boats filled with tourists can be very lucrative to the economy, especially for one bar in particular, according to resident Chuck Spillman.
Parish President and his son own the oyster bar.
Spillman, who lost against Kenny Havard in the last parish president election,
couldn't get no information out of them,
has been an outspoken critic of him and other local officials.
There's a lot of crookedness in this parish.
He alleges Parish President Kenny Havard is directly benefiting from the cruise lines that dock there because the passengers eat at his bar as part of the cruise's itinerary.
He was making money. He owned the oyster bar. He was making money on the side with feeding them and everything. And that's a conflict of interest because he's the parish president and he was the owner of the bar.
Havard owns the oyster bar with his son Davis. At last month's parish council meeting,
I just left the Capitol earlier today,
in which Havard was addressing previous stories done by the WBRZ investigative unit.
But you ought to be able to prove stuff before you accuse someone of that.
Spillman asked if there was a contract between the cruise lines and the oyster bar.
There is not. And I've went through that with the ethics board already.
He was fined.
Spillman originally brought it up more than a year before that at the September 11th, 2023 parish council meeting.
I drove to the port this past Saturday and observed two American cruise buses parked in front of the Oyster Bar LLC, a business whose manager is listed with the Secretary of State as our own Kenny Havard.
The day after that meeting, on September 12th, documents show Havard's son created Ferdinand Catering, separate from the oyster bar.
They went down there right quick to the Secretary of State's office and changed it into his son's name. And from there, it went to the ethics board. I filed a complaint with the ethics board.
Though we were not able to find any official contract between Ferdinand Catering and American Cruise Lines, we did find several emails between Davis Havard and the ACL president, coordinating a couchon de lait experience at the oyster bar for passengers. This email from March 2023, 6 months before Ferdinand Catering was created, lays it out. A whole hog, boudin, and potato salad, $115 per person for 35 guests. This year, with American Cruise Line's 100 scheduled St. Francisville dockings, it would add up to more than $400,000. Now on the phone today, Havard maintained neither he nor the oyster bar has made any money from the cruise lines. He says though the pig roast did take place at the oyster bar, they're now done on the boats. He adds the creation of Ferdinand Catering the day after Spillman questioned his involvement with the cruise lines is just a coincidence. For the investigative unit, Bess Casserly, WBRZ News 2.